It is my birthday today. Happy birthday to me. And this time last year, I did not know how my life was going to completely change in just a few days. I had an experience and I almost died. And that really reshuffled a whole lot of things in my life, in my mind, in my priorities. And it really has just led to me going, you know what? I need to just get things out there. We are here. Hello, welcome. My name is Danny. I'm 36 years old. I live in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm an art of living teacher as well as a marketer that works internationally with global clients. For a long time, I have wanted to do something like this. I've really wanted to just sit down, get stuff out there, and actually be consistent with it. I've tried a couple of times in the past, and obviously life comes up and goes down, ebbs and flows with the creativity. But this time I'm like, no, time to get this done, time to get this out there, enough with the bullshit. So here we are. Now, when I was in high school, I was lucky enough to be awarded a scholarship, yay, into university. However, that was based on keeping up with the academic results. Now, I don't know if you have ever gone through a university or a tertiary degree, or maybe you just know about exams, but essentially I would study so hard, and I could do the work and I could apply it in tutorials and sometimes in tests, but when it came to exams, I would get into the room, there would be thousands and thousands of other students. There'd be people I didn't see before, know before. There'd be people doing different exams. There'd be people clicking pens. There'd be people coughing. There'd be people sneezing. And it was just like, for as wide as the eye could see, this like thing of stress. And so I'd get there, I'd get my paper, and then I would blank out, completely blank out. And I would stare at the page and think, what am I going to write? And now the kind of degree that I was doing meant that you had to literally get in, sit down, start writing straight away. And if you didn't, you wouldn't finish. Like that was just, how the academic pressure was set up at that time. And so my marks started to go down. And with that, so did my self-confidence, my self-esteem, everything that I thought that I was, my identity. I used to get social anxiety. I couldn't speak to people. It got so bad that I was literally getting panic attacks. I was just really trying to get through this. And a friend of mine at the time, bless her, she said, come and try this breathing course. And I was like, breathing. I've been doing breathing for like 20 years of my life. I don't need a breathing course. And she was like, no, just come and do this breathing course. It'll be so good for you. And she just kept on saying, come and do this course, come and do this course, come and do this course. So I was like, okay, whatever, fine, I'm going to come and do it. And at the time, it was a significant part of my budget. And a lot of my budget for the rest of the semester was going to go into paying for doing this course. And I was like, why do you need to pay for breathing? Like, I know how to breathe. Like, what are you trying to this is so weird. Anyway, but then she just kept on saying, no, come and do it. It'll be the best thing for you. So to shut her up, I was like, fine, whatever. Signed up, paid the money. And what I appreciated about that was that it locked me in. Because I knew that I had spent so much of my own little budget at that time, I had to be locked in. I had to do it. There was like no going back with it. So probably the best thing that could have happened to me, because I was hyper focused on this course. So it was a 6-day course, started on the Tuesday, ended on the Sunday, and did the course. I was like, cool, awesome. It was something that I could see obviously is of benefit, but I didn't know how much at that point, which was really cool. So I'll tell you in a second why. I was practicing here and there. I was going to follow-ups sort of sporadically, not very consistent with it. But the time came when I had a really hectic exam schedule, and the university would not change it no matter how much we appealed. Shout out to that class. I know that we tried our best, guys. But anyway, the schedule was basically handing in of our major thesis, our full-on, my data for that one was 50 pages worth of raw data. And this is before AI or ChatGPT could just go through it in a couple of seconds. So I was doing everything manually. We had that basically 2 weeks before our final exam session. Final exam session, our exam timetable was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. No breaks, every single subject literally in a line. And that was why we appealed, because as a student body, we were like, guys, we can't actually do this. This is not fair on us. But the university said, unless there is an act of God or a major natural disaster, we're not going to change it, because apparently that was their policy at the time. So anyway, we struggled through that, and we knew that that was what we had coming. Now, I'm somebody that has these moments where I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, I'll probably bleep it out, but it's literally like I have these like, oh fuck moments. You know those? Where basically you get to the point where if you don't start and if you don't produce, if you don't like lock in at that stage, you're not going to make it. You're not going to have enough time to finish. So thank goodness I had my oh fuck moment literally about 2 months before that. And I was like, well, if I don't completely focus on what I'm doing right now, there's no way that I'm going to pass this degree. There's no way that I am going to be able to capitalize on everything that I've done leading up to this point. So I had to get really serious really quickly. And all that I did within that routine was simply add my breathing, simply add my sky breathwork technique. And essentially, my life became very simple, very focused, clear. Wake up, do my sky breath, then go straight into breakfast and study for a good few hours. I'd then break for lunch, study again. I'd then break to go and do some exercise. I used to go to the gym at that time, and then again lock in for another evening session. And every single day, without fail, that was it. I was locked in with just adding that breathing technique in. I was able to write those exams. I was able to sit down and actually apply myself, which was the biggest change for me. And I remember I then got back my results, and on my results, I scored more than I'd ever scored in my academic career with those results. And I remember, you know, like in that phase and that haze after exams where people are completely sleep deprived, you haven't been eating great, you haven't been doing great things, etc., etc. You're just like running on caffeine and fumes by that point. I was blurry-eyed, yeah, for sure, but I felt centered. And I saw the results, and I remember handing them over to my friend, and I was like, what does this say? Like, am I reading this right? Is that a 9 or a 6? Like, you know? And she was like, whoa, you're a genius. And I was like, no, what? And I actually passed cum laude, and I passed golden key. And that was simply down to adding in my sky breathing every single day. That was it. So for me, that was really the moment where I was like, okay, chat, it works. This works because my marks had literally gone from down here all the way up here, and I couldn't have done any better. And so from there, I felt like, flip, I can't not do this anymore, you know? And it just really became a part of my life. I also reached a point within that experience whereby everyone was like, oh, let's go party, let's go do this, let's go do that. Afterwards, you know, like with exams, and once you get your results, you're like, woohoo! And I was like, no, I don't need that. Like, I'm very happy and very content within myself. And I'll tell you another story about that in another episode. But yeah, that for me was really, really the biggest turning point, because I could physically, tangibly see the results from one point to the next. And having taught this course now, it is not surprising. Like, it's really, really not surprising. I have students that will come and say to me, you know, Dan, like, I have come off of my sleeping meds. I no longer have to take my antidepressants. And obviously, you know, with the guidance of their doctor completely. It's not through me recommending or not recommending doing things, but it's simply because they have implemented the Sky Breathwork technique into their day-to-day lives, and it's become a habit. You know, it's similar to like how you brush your teeth every day. That's called your dental hygiene, and you do that because you need to make sure your mouth is clean and everything is good. And it's your mental hygiene. You know, you can't like take your brain out and give it a scrub and then put it back in again every single day. I mean, it would be wonderful if it were that easy, but you just can't. So the sky breathwork and meditation is really just being able to let go and cleanse the mind from all of the stress and the impressions that we accumulate throughout the day. So that for me was really like the turning point and, you know, what I brought forwards with me into my life. And it's something that I really think is so valuable to share, that every single person should learn, is some form of breathwork and meditation, because it is that life hack. It really is, you know, it really is just the best thing that you can do. So yeah, that is a little bit of me, and I really hope that you will subscribe. Actually, just do subscribe. Like, that'll make my day. If I can get like 36 subscribers on here for my 36th birthday, wow, that'll be the best present ever. So do that. And if you know of somebody that you think will benefit from the story or this video, then share it along with them. And I'm excited. And yeah, I will see you again soon. Ciao. Oh, by the way, if you do want to learn this Sudarshan Kriya, this sky breath meditation, if you do want to learn this sky breath meditation, then there'll be a link, my link tree. It'll be somewhere like in the comments or somewhere wherever this video is. Click on it, go check up, there's a course, and then sign up and come and join. It'll be the best thing you've ever done for yourself, I promise.